It might seem like 2025 is really far away, but it'll be here in the blink of an eye. What's going on, guys? I'm Chris and welcome back to another video. So today I have my way too early ranking of 2025 movies based on my excitement. I love college football and every year they do way too early rankings, so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna put a little twist on this for movies coming out next year because 2025 has the potential to be an all-time great year. It's a stacked lineup. But before I talk about these films, be sure to hit that like button and comment down below your most anticipated films from 2025. Subscribe and hit that notification bell to help reach my goal of 100,000 subscribers here on the channel. It means a lot. And go show some love to the Unusual Couple podcast for weekly episodes with myself and my girlfriend Kim. We have tons of fun with it over there. But without further ado, I say we just dive right in talking 2025 films. Alright, so the tiers I have today are Need It Now, I'm Pumped, I'm Curious, and Don't Care. And trust me, there will be a few that go in that bottom tier. But let's just start out. These are fully randomized with Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 2, which I don't think it's going to be called this anymore. They just announced that Dead Reckoning Part 1 is no longer called Part 1, it's just Dead Reckoning. Not sure how you can really do that because the title is literally in the movie itself. Like, it pops up, opening credits, it says Part 1, so seems kind of impossible to do that, but we can just call it Dead Reckoning now, I guess. This is the sequel to that I think will have some new name. I'm pumped for this movie, I'm going to put it there right now, because I think that this will be better than Part 1, or just Dead Reckoning, I guess, but Tom Cruise is going to deliver. He's consistently done that since forever in this franchise, in my mind. There's only one miss, and MI2 is still enjoyable enough. I think it's a little overhated, but Dead Reckoning was really great. We got the whole motorcycle base jump, and it set up the sequel in a really satisfying way. So I'm curious to see what stunts are cooked up here, and I'm pumped. This is the premier action franchise, so of course I'm excited for this movie. It was supposed to come out this year, but it got delayed to 2025, unfortunately. We'll have to wait a little longer to see the potential conclusion to the franchise. Next, we've got Wicked Part 2. I'm gonna put this in because I have to see how Part 1 is. Wicked Part 1 comes out this year. It's based on the famous Broadway musical, and it is, a part of the Wizard of Oz story. It's got that IP, so I think the movie has a chance to do well at the box office. It just depends on if people want to flock out to see musical or not. If Part 1's bad, this would be in Don't Care, but I haven't seen Part 1, so I just have to say, I think I'll be alright on it. I saw the Broadway musical off-Broadway at the Fox Theater in Atlanta, and I was like, this is alright. Not, like, fully my favorite musical, so if Part 1, the movie, sells me, then Wicked Part 2 would go a little higher, but we'll have to see. This next one is an untitled Dirty Dancing project. I think it's actually a sequel to the original Dirty Dancing film. And look, I really like that movie. I actually took a dance class in high school called theater dance. There were guys and girls, and we would, choreograph a few dances over the course of the year, and then there would be a dance show with all the other dance classes. So I performed a Dirty Dancing dance live in front of an audience. So I do respect that film, and I acknowledge it's an 80s classic, but I don't care about this, and I'm gonna put it there right now, because I don't think it's necessary. It seems like it's more of a risk than having any potential reward. I just don't know what you could recapture without Patrick Swayze. Rest in peace, he's a legend. I just don't know why you would try and revisit this franchise without him. I don't know if this is a reboot, a prequel, a sequel, whatever it is. We don't need more Dirty Dancing in this world. Nobody puts baby in a corner. We don't need this movie. Moving on, we've got Paddington in Peru. This is gonna upset you. I don't care. Right now, I'm putting it at the top of Don't Care. Actually, the back, because I care more about this Dirty Dancing film than Paddington in Peru. Now, I have not seen Paddington 1 and 2. That's why it's at the bottom. So before you go to the comment section saying, screw you hate Paddington, I haven't seen Paddington 1 and 2, so I have no thoughts on the matter. I just wanted to say this is one of the bigger films coming out, and actually, I think has a January or February release date, so I haven't seen Paddington 1 or 2. If I watch them before this, that could go higher on the list when we get closer to 2025, but right now, I don't really care, because I haven't seen the Paddington films. Moving on, we got the Black Phone 2, same boat. I heard great things about the Black Phone. It's got Ethan Hawke, it's a horror thriller film. I haven't seen the first one, though. It's been recommended to me by many people, but I'm putting it in Don't Care, right in the middle, because I think I'd be a little more excited for that than a Paddington film. I know the Paddington films have critical acclaim worldwide, and people seem to love those films, but Black Phone seemed a little more my speed, so I'd say I'm a little more excited for that, sight unseen, of course, with both. But moving on, we got the Snow White live-action remake. I'm curious. I'm putting it there right now, because I think there have been great Disney live-action remakes, and there have been poor ones, and where will this one land? That's why it's in the curious tier. Coming off the heels of The Little Mermaid, I'm interested to see if this will outperform that or be an underperformer at the box office, but Rachel Zegler crushes it as Maria in 2021's West Side Story. She has a beautiful voice, and she showed that yet again in The Battle of Songbirds and Snakes, singing in a different accent even. So vocally, she is out of this world, and I think she's a great actress as well. So I'm curious to see this modern take on Snow White, and yeah, if it could be one of the better Disney live-action remakes or not. We'll have to wait and see. This next one is the SpongeBob movie. It's called Search for SquarePants. Sorry, I literally had to get right on my computer screen because the graphic's so tiny. I don't care about this. I'd say that I'm maybe more intrigued, I'd put it like right here, than, you know, the Black Phone and Paddington in Peru, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to watch this movie probably. I didn't even see Sponge Out of Water. I saw the SpongeBob SquarePants movie, I think that was 05 or 04. That's like a childhood classic right there. It was on Nickelodeon all the time, and the movie's a banger. I'm a goofy goober! Rah! Vintage SpongeBob to me. Anything nowadays that's new, it's like, I actually don't know anyone who actively watches SpongeBob still, like the new stuff. I'll watch some reruns, hell yeah, why not? But the new stuff, why? They need to hang it up. It's one of those shows that'll go on forever though. Moving on, we've got The Batman Part 2. The Batman's my favorite Batman movie, so of course, I need this movie now. It's one of my most anticipated films for the foreseeable future. Give it to me. Inject it into my veins. This movie is gonna rule. I'm curious to see what route they go with the villain. I cannot wait for my eardrums to be graced with Michael Giacchino's score. Hopefully he returns to compose. And let's just see the continuation of this story. Bring it on. This next one is Megan 2.0. I'm putting this at the back of Don't Care. Megan was one of my least favorite films of last year. I don't understand why people like it, but to each their own. It's a watered down, crappy ripoff of Chucky in my opinion, and I just didn't care about anyone in the film or anything that happened. It was cringe, unfunny, and dreadful to sit through. I will not watch Megan 2.0. Next we got Thunderbolts. I'm pumped for this movie, more so than I am for the new Mission Impossible, honestly, because of the lineup. And people have been crapping on this lineup, but it has some of my favorite newer characters in the MCU, notably Yelena, notably Red Guardian. Those two are going to make for one hell of a duo. They already did in Black Widow, and they're coming back here. You've got Sebastian Stan as Bucky Barnes himself, and you've got John Walker from the Falcon and Winter Soldier. Those are four fascinating characters right there. This is going to be more of like a lower stakes, street level type of film in my mind. Wyatt Russell, who plays John Walker / US Agent, was saying, let's make a great Marvel movie. And people have been saying, let's make this movie rated R. And if that's the case, bring it on. I'm ready. And the director of this movie, I believe, directed Beef, which just racked it up at the Emmys. I gotta watch that still, the miniseries on Netflix. But yeah, I'm ready. Next we got the Minecraft movie. Sorry, the logo's a little cut off here, but it's tough. I've played Minecraft. I think everyone in the world probably has at some point. It's never something I was fully invested in. I would say, I need to see a little more. I'll put it at the top of that category. Now, I think this is a $1 billion movie. It's gonna have the Super Mario Bros. Effect, but I don't know if it's gonna be good. The cast just keeps getting more and more stacked though, and that IP has become so huge. Like, if they ever do a Fortnite movie, it'll be similar where it does $1 billion. Yeah, I'd say for excitement, but it's gonna do a lot of money. Next, we got Fast X Part 2. I don't care, but I'm actually gonna put it here because I wanna go on YouTube once this movie's been out for a few months and look up like how they continued. Like, what is the opening scene of this movie? Because the last one ended so abruptly. I want to see if it picks up right where it left off or if it's just moved on and it starts a new film, because the Fast franchise is dead. I don't care about this movie at all, but I'm like ever so slightly intrigued to see how the movie opens. Next, we got Marvel Studios' Fantastic Four. Give us the cast, you cowards! We've been waiting since Multiverse of Madness in 2022, and we still haven't gotten an official confirmation on who the cast is. We've had tons of rumors, and we've all had our speculation. I'm pumped for this movie. I'd say right behind Thunderbolts right now, just because when it comes to this film, my excitement's died down just because we don't know who's playing who officially, but once that is announced, my excitement will be even higher. I'm a little hesitant just because the Fantastic Four has had some missteps lately. I mean, the last movie people disowned, right? So I am ever so slightly hesitant, but I have faith, and I want to see who the cast is, more importantly. Next week, Captain America Brave New World. I'm also pretty pumped for this one. Like, I have faith for the 2025 MCU lineup. It was supposed to be this year, but Sam Wilson as Captain America, bring it on. You've got Harrison Ford coming in as Thunderbolt Ross here. Bucky might show up. Like, it's going to be a new era of Captain America and continuation of this character from the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I'd say I'm the least excited of these four, but I'm still pretty pumped for this one, honestly, and I know they're doing a lot of extensive reshoots right now, but I'm still excited for a new Captain America movie in theaters. The 2025 MCU lineup has so much potential. I really hope that everything delivers. Moving on, we've got Moana. I would say I'm curious. I'd put it behind Snow White just because, like, it's a live action adaptation, but it hasn't even been a decade. Moana came out in 2016, and this is coming out in 2025, so 9 years, you're remaking a movie in live action. Is it going to be a beat-for-beat remake just to try and replicate the success? To me, that's what it screams. It's sort of a desperate move for The Rock in my mind. I'd say I'm curious. Are they going to just reuse the same songs? Are they going to have new songs? Like, what is the movie going to be? That's why I'm curious, but yeah, we'll have to see. Next, we've got Avatar 3. I am a known Avatar hater, if you will. I don't really care for the first two movies, and so I don't care about this one either. We know the visual effects are going to be great. the fire people, I want to say, are going to be in this one. I mean, how close can we get to The Last Airbender at this point? The second movie was a replica of the first in my mind. I don't care about this at all. I would put it like up here though, just because I wonder, maybe there's that glimmer of hope where it's like, oh, this could be the one that wins me over. But at the end of the day, I could go my whole life and never rewatch Avatar 1 and 2 and never watch the other Avatar movies, and nothing in my life would change. I'd be fine. I'd be content. Next, we have Pixar's Elio. I'm curious about this one. I'm actually going to put it at the top of this list for curious because it's a new Pixar original concept, and that's typically where they excel. Now, they've had a few missteps over the years, but Onward was a winner. We haven't had a big home run hitter original concept in a while. Based on this trailer that we got a while ago now, it's almost like a space type of movie. I'd have to rewatch it, but why the hell not? It's an original Pixar movie. Of course, I'm always going to be curious. The How to Train Your Dragon live action remake is filming right now, and it comes out in 2025, and it's confession time. I've said this before, but I have never seen the How to Train Your Dragon trilogy. It's sitting right there on my Blu-ray shelf at the bottom on Blu-ray because they were running a Black Friday sale a few years ago, I think in 2022, and so I picked it up for really cheap. So I own all 3 movies. I just got to watch them for the first time, and I'll do that before this movie. I guarantee that much. I would say because of that, I'm still curious. I'd put it like right here in terms of level of curiosity, just because this sort of represents how I'm curious to watch the movies as a whole. I haven't seen the trilogy, and I've heard nothing but fantastic things. I've heard people say it's the best DreamWorks has to offer, which excites me. I've always been more of a Pixar guy than a DreamWorks guy, but I'll give it a chance, and if I love them, then I would assume I would love this live-action remake. Is it gonna have Game of Thrones-esque level dragons in terms of the visual effects? We shall see. Is it gonna be that epic, or is it gonna be more family-friendly? Will it be a beat-for-beat remake of the animated films, or will it have some originality to it? These are questions that will be answered when we sit down to watch this movie, but I'm curious because they're doing a live-action remake of DreamWorks films. That hasn't happened yet, I don't think, so it's like the first for them. Next, we have Superman Legacy. As much as I want to say I'm pumped for this movie, I'm more curious than anything. I am putting it at the top of curious, though, just because it's James Gunn in the director's chair. It is the first DCU movie, and it's a new era for DC films. That's why I'm curious. I have confidence in James Gunn. He hasn't made a bad comic book film in my mind that I've seen. I love the Suicide Squad, the Guardians trilogy's elite. He knocked it out of the park with Peacemaker. So I know creatively speaking, James Gunn is brilliant and he will definitely deliver a good movie, but I'm curious to see if it is a great movie. I don't say this lightly. I think it's one of the most important films of the century in terms of launching the future of DC. They've tarnished their brand over the past decade. So this movie will be a test to see, have audiences fully lost trust with DC, or are they willing to come back for the Man of Steel himself, Superman? Maybe this movie could be a beacon of hope for DC and be a moderate success and a moderate win to sort of slowly build their way back up to that Marvel level that they want to achieve so badly. But we'll have to see. I'm very curious to see how this one lands at the box office, with critics, with audiences, more importantly with myself, to see if I like the movie or not. And last but not least, we've got Marvel Studios' Blade. There was a point in time where this would be like, need it now. But due to sort of the production hell it's gone through, I would just put it in the curious tier. In fact, I'd put it above Superman Legacy because Mahershala Ali is Blade. Is Dane Whitman from Eternals going to show up here? Are we going R-rated with it? Like, I have so many questions about this movie. It's going to be the first time an MCU film's really dipped into the medieval side of the MCU, which fascinates me. Vampires, werewolves, what's going to show up in this movie? I'm ready. I'm really curious to see if this movie ever sees the light of day. It's been through hell. But I hope Mahershala Ali sticks with it. In fact, if you look at the 2025 MCU movie lineup, we could go 4 for 4. Knocking on wood. Let's say Deadpool 3 is a winner and the MCU just builds on that momentum, and then we head into the new Avengers in 26 or 27. That's best case scenario as a Marvel fan, and I think we all should be rooting for that. But that does it for my way too early ranking of just some of the biggest titles that have confirmed 2025 release dates, because there's a boatload of movies out there that are going to come out in 2025 that just don't have a release date or that we haven't even heard of yet. Just wanted to do a little way too early video to spice things up. But let me know in the comments down below which of these films you're the most excited for and those that you're not. Subscribe and hit that notification bell to help me reach my goal of 100,000 subscribers here on the channel. It mean a lot. And go show some love to the Unusual Couple podcast for weekly episodes with myself and my girlfriend Cam. But thank you guys as always for watching, and until next time, I'll see you guys later.